Hi, I'm Brent. This is another quickie video update today on my iPhone 5 to explain to you the pitfalls of modifying and not modifying the early model Subarus. Now we're talking today about the 01, 02 Subaru Impreza WRX and the STIs, but on this particular part we're particularly talking about the catalytic converter in the up pipe on the Bug-Eye model, which also is very similar on the early model Foresters. So if you've got a Forester or a WRX, you really want to follow this video carefully. And what we're talking about today is the catalytic converter in the up pipe, and I'll show you in a minute where this sits, that connects to the underside of the turbo intake on the turbo factory fitted. Now unfortunately, this particular car that we've worked on today, the client has had his car regularly serviced by what he thought was a Subaru specialist, really didn't have the opportunity to explain to him what he needed to do. He's come to us with no performance, and what we've found is down inside there, which you can't see, but I'll show you, is this catalytic converter, which is quite small on the up pipe, which connects to the bottom side of this turbo. Now what happens is when that catalytic converter fails, as in the case of this client, all the broken bits go up through the turbine housing on the exhaust side of the turbo. The turbo then fails. The downside is you lose performance, and it could have been avoided by replacing this part with a decatted up pipe. Later model Subarus don't have this catalytic converter. We assume because Subaru realised it was a common faulty part, which means if you're driving a newer model car, it's not a big issue. One other small thing you'll notice here, this sensor is a temperature sensor, which is also notoriously unreliable, commonly recommended by us to replace with a temperature sensor defender, which when we do this upgrade, they don't have to worry about that problem causing any issues in the future. So to show you where this part is, if you want to work it out for yourself, it actually goes from, this is the bottom of the engine, this is the exhaust manifold, the pipe bolts on here and goes up there to the back side where the turbo bolts in place. And we're talking about the engine side of the turbo. So the exhaust gases come out of the engine, through the exhaust manifold, up through the tiny catalytic converter, which is also a huge restriction. So if you're looking for a quick increase in performance, that's a great way to do it. Out through the turbo and out through the exhaust. Now one thing I want to remind people, unfortunately people replace these pipes when they don't have a cat converter in them at all. There's no performance gain unless you're pushing massive power upgrades to change that up pipe with an aftermarket up pipe, unless you need to do it with a matching set of extractors, which again opens up another can of worms. Remember, when you change this restriction like this to a decatted up pipe, you then need to do a proper ECU tune to match the boost control system, the revised performance you're going to get, and the increase in power, which in this situation is probably going to add about 20 kilowatts at the wheels, typically what we do in one of our upgrades with our XA and XB power kits here. So there you have it. The pitfalls of what you can and can't do with the early model Subarus. This is the Bug-Eye model that we're talking about. So if you're looking for something on your early model Subaru or Forester, this is a great way to update it and at the same time save your money so you don't end up having to buy a turbo when you really don't need to. For more information, you know where to follow us: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Make a comment here on our video channel. But for today, on behalf of MRT, thanks for watching.